Hello guys, it's a warm welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Daily. This is where I edit all the videos for the channel, and it's also where I edit all the videos for the Big Picture El Panorama. Now you might be able to hear behind me, by the way, this video is about a nerve-wracking experience in Bangkok. Believe me, it was absolutely nerve-wracking. But just a second, can you hear that noise? That's the monsoon outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Essentially, I can't get down to the market at night to do my Big Picture El Panorama videos if it's doing that. Hopefully tonight it won't be doing that and I'll be able to bring another video. However, here we go. This is a nerve-wracking experience, and I'm not making light of it because I was absolutely beside myself when this happened. And this happened this morning. I was driving through rush hour traffic at about 8:15 a.m. I'm specific about the time because I know exactly what I was doing. Can you hear that? Have a look at this, by the way. I mean, I'm not deviating from the story, but I mean, this is the monsoon. I mean, that's what it's like. I mean, it really is a pain in the ass. Anyway, back to the story. Anyway, yeah, on with the story. It was nerve-wracking. I was coming through Bangkok traffic, as I said, at about 8:15 this morning, and I was coming up to a major T-junction, and a guy on a motorcycle, now the lights were red so the traffic had stopped. I was about 100 metres away, within 100 metres. You can hear that. I was within 100 metres of the traffic lights, and this guy on a kind of a souped up kind of motorcycle thing, I noticed him. We drive, by the way, we drive on the left in Thailand, so my steering wheel is on the right side. Anyway, I noticed him encroach upon me because he came around the passenger side of the car and positioned himself at a right angle like this in front of my car. Now, it wasn't an issue because the lights were red. I thought he was just going to weave in and out, but he stopped and then he looked at me. And when I say he looked at me, he glared at me, and it was a kind of a, maybe almost a vacant glare, but it was threatening, to say the least. And I made a gesture to him. I thought he thought that I had hit him or something, but I didn't. You know when you hit someone, you know it. But there was no collision whatsoever. He was just positioned himself at that angle, looking back at me like this, with a kind of a, I don't know, distant, whatever, as I said, distant look in his face, or his eyes. And I began to wonder what the crack was. And he was wearing a hooded top, but he wasn't wearing the hood. I got bitten by a mosquito. He had one of these pouches, you know, the pouches where you put both hands in, the thing. He had his right hand on the motorcycle, like he was like this, I'll come back to like this. He had his right hand on the handlebars, and he put his left hand into the pouch. And I was watching him, and he was watching me all the time he was doing this. This is no word of a lie. And he kind of put his hand in as he was watching me, or as he was looking at me, or glaring at me. And I said to myself, Jesus Christ. I just thought, like, you hear the stories about the guys here on Yaba, the crazy drug. I've seen them. I've seen lots of examples of people who've taken Yaba and they lost their mind completely. But this, I began to say to myself, that distant look in his eye, maybe he's out of it. He looks out of his head, and he kept glaring at me. Anyway, the hands in the pouch thing, and he withdraws his hand. It's true as God. He withdraws his hand really carefully. I actually thought, I swear to God, I was convinced he was going to put out a gun. I lost my mind went, I was racing ahead, you see. And just then I realised, you know, I was completely vulnerable. I was stuck in rush hour traffic in my car. I couldn't just get out of the car. There was cars coming the opposite way. And even if I did jump out of my car, I could be making a mountain of a molehill. Anyway, he took his hand out and put his hand then gently on the crossbar of the handlebars. And I was kind of looking to see, did he have that? And it didn't look as if he had. And it turns out he didn't have that in his hand. But it seemed like an eternity. He kept looking at me. And then he pulled away. The lights were still red, but there was gaps between the two sets of, there was 2 lanes of traffic, or 2 lines of cars, and he went through the gap, continuing to look back at me as he went. And I was saying to myself, well, I hope the lights go green and he can go on. And that's what he did. He went on. But I was actually, after the event, I was actually shaken. I was, not physically shaking, but I was shaking within myself. And I said to myself, how vulnerable can you be? And Bangkok is a safe city, don't get me wrong, because I've been here 10 years and I've never had a bad experience. But in terms of that, you know, Yabba is a thing here. And all you need, like anywhere in the world, I suppose, is one crazy guy to do something crazy. But imagine looking at me in a weird way, putting his hand in the pocket and taking his hand out slowly. I thought my number was up. I really did. So there you go, lads. I mean, I thought I'd share that with you. That was a very unnerving and nerve-wracking experience that I had this morning in Bangkok. Let me know. Oh, by the way, my advice to you is, in traffic, just go with the flow, do as they do, don't beep your horn, don't get into any confrontation whatsoever. It's just not worth it, because I won't say they drive aggressively here, but I have seen aggressive reaction in terms of road rage. I mean, there's road rage everywhere in every country in the world, but I've seen it here, and believe me, you're as well off just say nothing and keep saying it. So there you go, guys. That's my 5 cents worth. And I hope you throw in your 5 cents worth and click that subscribe button, click the like button, click the share button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.